taking shots at the Satan full clip. I could picture my enemy, Kodak. Don't question my qadr, he wrote that. Jahannam is hot, no slack, but his mercy is real, cold fact.
Asalamualaikum guys, my name is Muhammad.
And I'm Ismail.
And today in the Dunya, we will be talking about coronavirus and how it's affecting the world and what the statistics are right now. Then we're going to be talking about businesses and how they are coping with coronavirus and how they are helping their customers. And then later on in today's episode, we'll have our first special guest who's going to be talking about how he's helping his local area in spreading awareness about this coronavirus. So stay tuned and make sure you don't miss anything. Asalamualaikum guys, sorry to disturb you during your listening to the podcast. I just wanted to give you a quick word from our first ever sponsor. This is from Anchor. So if you haven't heard about Anchor, it's the easiest way to make a podcast. Let me explain. Anchor is free. There's creation tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or your computer. Anchor will then distribute your podcast for you so it can be heard on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and many, many more. You can make money from your podcast as well with no minimum listenership, which is just amazing for new starting podcasters. It's everything you need to make a podcast in one place. I highly recommend it. Download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started. That's anchor.fm, the website, to get started. Thank you for listening, and I hope you enjoy the rest of your podcast.
So right now we're gonna start off with the coronavirus and start talking about some of the latest news and statistics.
So in the UK, what's going on? How's coronavirus looking in the UK?
So right now, as of Sunday, there have been 79,000 confirmed cases, and so far almost 10,000 deaths, which is quite high.
That's a lot. That means you're more likely to actually survive than you are to die.
Because a lot of people are saying that if you're quite healthy, even though coronavirus now, towards the start of coronavirus, people are saying it's more targeting the elderly, which is true, people who are vulnerable.
Yeah.
But recently we've been getting a lot of people who are young, which are passing as well, which is very sad as well. It means that it's going to have a even larger impact on the population.
That's true.
The thing is,
that's true.
They've been saying that if you're healthy, you're more likely to recover within 2 weeks of catching it.
Yeah, 2 weeks. So it's a bit more than an average flu, isn't it? 2 weeks. Probably for an average flu, it takes about just over a week. So if you're healthy, try and obviously the advice is social distancing, face masks, and regular washing of the hands. So if you keep onto them and somehow you still manage to get the virus, you should be able to recover within a week. So that's quite good news. 2 weeks, my bad. Yeah. But worldwide, things are looking pretty similar, to be fair. There's 1.8 million confirmed cases worldwide, and out of them, 110,000 people have died. But this is the one that we should be looking at. 405,000 people have recovered from the virus worldwide. That's
quite a large chunk.
Yeah, that's like a quarter, almost a quarter of the people who have it, they end up recovering, which is really good to hear worldwide. So obviously the UK Prime Minister, we heard that unfortunately he did catch the coronavirus. Now, I'd just like to say, whatever your opinions are about him, you've got to think he's a working man, he has a family, he has children, and obviously him being in intensive care, him being with the coronavirus is causing his family pain and distress. So even if you don't like the person, please don't say anything bad about him. Pray for him in these times. It's hard. I mean, even if you disagree with his views, it's hard on his family.
Yeah, a human is a human.
Yeah, a human is a human. You disagree with them. You disagree with their views. You don't disagree with the person. So please do be compassionate. Do think about his family when you're saying all these things. It's not very nice. But he came out of intensive care recently, which is good. He's on the recover. And we just got a notification now in the past 5 minutes that he's out of hospital now. And Ismail, what was that 10 Downing Street was saying?
Yeah, even though he's out of hospital, the 10 Downing Street have reported that he still won't be going to work. Until later, which hopefully gives him time to recover and get back to full health.
Yeah, and another thing, a lot of people are making fun of him for telling us to just wash our hands and not taking drastic measures quickly. But this wasn't his decision. It was given to him by the scientists of the UK. They were saying this is the most effective way to tackle coronavirus is by washing your hands regularly and social distancing. So don't hate on him. It's just what he's been told that is the most effective way to stop and prevent coronavirus as of right now. So please don't violate him.
That's been reported by the scientists. There's been people have noticed that ethnic minorities in the UK take up around 14%, right?
40% of the population.
Yeah. However, in terms of cases, they actually take up a whole third of the number of cases right now.
Yeah, that is interesting.
Some scientists have been speculating, and there's been some newly emerging evidence that some ethnic minorities might be more susceptible to the disease.
Personally, I don't think it's that we're more susceptible. I just think that, I'm speaking from the Asian community. So in Asian communities, it took longer for us to actually realize, hold up, this is serious. And people are still going around the normal business, normal life, going out, seeing friends.
I think that's with
they were still mingling and talking to each other in groups and masses. So I think that might be the reason, rather than the genetics of just coming from a different part of the world. I think it's mainly about how they react.
I think that might have played a role, but it might have played a role that they were still going out a lot. But I think maybe there is something to this because it's still newly emerging evidence. It's still being checked out right now, so we'll wait and see till if anything comes up later.
Inshallah, right? Everything is part of Allah's plan, Allah's divine plan. He knows what's going on. It's come from Allah, and inshallah, cure will come from Allah as well. There's no disease that's without a cure other than death. So inshallah, we'll find a cure, and everything will return to normal soon.
Generally the UK is doing and how we're coping with the coronavirus.
I've
also mentioned the world, how the world overall is doing, and in recent times we've had a lot of news talking about how areas are doing, but what a lot of people are neglecting how big businesses, small businesses, how they're helping their communities and areas to cope with the coronavirus.
Actually, I saw a couple of news articles, small ones, about businesses, very big businesses that are actually helping their customers. One of the most surprising ones actually is a collab between Google and Apple. And obviously these are big tycoon rivals, they're massive rivals. And what they did was they came up and they decided to make this technology to try and find out if there's a chance you might have coronavirus. So how they actually made this was they used Bluetooth technology. So when you're going past someone and you're going near someone, the Bluetooth between both your phones, it picks up where you've been recently and how many people you've interacted with. So if the person you're talking to has interacted with a lot of people, your phone will tell you, oh, you know what, hold up, this guy's talked and met a lot of people recently, and there's a chance he might have coronavirus, so just watch out. And that's really helpful. It's like a heads up, a bit of a red light before you start shaking hands and hugging and things like that, which I think is really cool, actually. They're using latest technology to help people. But just a warning that the World Health Organization did say that this isn't a replacement for normal coronavirus tests. This is just a bit of a red light warning kind of thing. But yeah, so Ismail, you were telling me before we started about small businesses in the UK that were trying to actually do a similar thing, but on a slightly lower scale.
Yeah, there was a small community where, a bunch of restaurants and cafes came together to create a 24-hour service, which provides food for the local community, regular foods, and people who are there that are struggling to get food. Some people might have to stay at home if they're single parents, disabled children, anything that, they have problems. So they provide food to the local community. And I was just thinking that is very, heartwarming and
it's
in
very
recent times.
Yeah, and actually later on, a quick spoiler, we do have someone who's doing a very similar thing to what these guys are doing in their community, and inshallah he'll talk to you about how he's doing it and what he's doing later on as well, inshallah. But another thing, I'm looking at the big businesses here, and another one that's really caught my mind and got me thinking as well is Virgin Media. So obviously the internet and mobile data, just superpower. In the UK, they're number one for Wi-Fi and probably number two for data. What they've done is for their TV customers, they have given them free channels. So, like the paid channels like Sky Sports and BT Sports and things like that.
Big channels.
Yeah, they've given them for free, which I think is a really smart move, because obviously if people have got more channels, they want to check them out, and obviously they can only check them out at home. So it's a great way to keep people at home. Another thing that they've done is actually I'm with Virgin Media for the data, and they've given everyone A to Z, all their customers, 10 gigabytes of free data. And I think for people who may not have Wi-Fi at home, that's a really good move, because obviously now they can watch YouTube, do whatever they want at home without worrying about running out of data. Because if you're at home and you're worried about running out of data by using the internet, you want to go out and you might want to see friends instead. But if you have more data, you'll be more willing to stay at home and just get on with your work or whatever else you want to do to kill time. So I think that's a really smart move. Anything else you've come across?
No, I think you've covered most of the companies.
So I think it's really good that companies are actually using their initiative to help the community. Asalamualaikum, guys. We're back with our special. We'll introduce him shortly, and first, we're just going to tell you what his position is in the local community. Alhamdulillah, Farook here. He's the leader of a local charity that helps integrate communities and works closely with the youth. So, inshallah, we'll hand it over to him to introduce himself. So, Farook, could you tell us a bit about yourself?
Basically, like you said, I work with young people to get them to do positive things, stay away from the negative things.
MashaAllah.
And that's it basically. There's not much other than that. We'll keep it short and get to the point.
Yeah. So with the recent coronavirus pandemic, what have you been doing to see that the local community stays safe and aware during this time?
Mashallah, we were thinking of doing loads of things, but there's a local mosque. Come Yol was thinking of doing a lot of things, but the local mosque has started doing a lot of things. So we thought we'd help them, Zakaria Education Trust. And they have almost a bank of almost 100 volunteers. And they've been going around helping people in different ways. They've given the National Health Service, i.e. Dewsbury Hospital, Pinderfield Hospital, the ambulance service, the firemen. They've helped them out with taking food to them because obviously they find it difficult to do shopping and stuff like that. When I say food, they've given them hot meals, fresh fruit and stuff. And they go out and, to the elderly people, and give them hot meals as well, and fruit as well. And also shopping, which is quite a hard thing to do because everybody wants the shopping and it's individual shopping, so some whatever they want. And we go around to elderly people. Okay, look, they've got nobody. They're living by themselves. They're under lockdown. They can't go out, and they need basic stuff like milk, eggs, bread. And we go out and do shopping for them. And that's quite difficult because when you go to Asda or other supermarkets, as you know at the moment, the queues are huge. So yesterday I went to do shopping for one elderly person, and it took me 1 hour, 45 minutes from setting up from home, going to Asda, taking all the shopping and passing it on to them. But when you go there and you deliver the food and you see the smile on their faces. One gentleman a few days ago, I went and dropped off the food. The cost was only a few quid, but I didn't take the money, and he started crying. He was so happy that there's nobody here to help us out, and here you are coming out and helping us. And also we do essential food packs to whoever needs it. And I must say one thing. The community has gathered around so well. Over 100 volunteers ready to go out and work. And also, the donation-wise, one guy dropped off a full truckload of fruit, fresh fruit. And when I saw it, I got worried. Oh my God, how the hell are we going to distribute all this? We managed to give it out to loads of people.
It's little things that really have a great impact on a community. They realize that, in this community, there are good people that are willing to do good things to help us. It's really heartwarming when you look at it from that kind of perspective.
Absolutely.
We were talking earlier.
Yeah, you might just say that you went to Asda, got a loaf of bread, some milk, and some eggs and cheese or whatever. But it's a small thing, but it's a big thing. Depends how you look at it.
Yeah, a great impact.
That person is struggling for milk. We went to a residential home, old people's residential home, and they had loads of people there. And when we went in with the fruit, they were so happy because, we've got tin stuff, but we don't have fresh fruit. We're desperate for fresh fruit. And they all came out. And I got worried. I'm like, oh my God, this is going to spread the disease. So I had to stop everybody. And I had to make them all line up like the supermarket, 2 meters apart. And one by one, there's plenty for everybody. But they were so happy just to see fruit. A simple thing, like you say, but a massive impact on their livelihood and stuff.
Yeah,
Ismail, is there anything that you'd like to ask him?
Yeah, Musab, do you have any advice or for anyone out there, how they can contribute or how they can help with their community or their neighbors in these recent times?
I would definitely say that look around, especially in your street and around. There are people isolated. They're afraid to go out, and some of them are afraid to ask for help. So knock on their door or phone their house number and ask them, look, can I do something for you? Simple things like shopping, can make a massive impact on that. So please do look out for people here and there. I'm getting calls from people from not in Yorkshire. I'm getting calls from all over the country, friends and people who've seen it. I want to give money towards this, how that sort of thing. People are so desperate to help out and stuff. Yeah. So there's a lot of people out there wanting to do a lot of things, but please do look out for people in and around you. You'll be surprised how, you might think there's nobody around, but there's loads around that need help.
Yeah, like what Farook said, it doesn't have to be them that have to come to you. A good friend, a good neighbor will know when another neighbor is in need. They won't have to come to you. You'll get a feeling like if you haven't seen them, if the car's been parked outside for a couple of days and you haven't seen them go out, just give them a quick phone call and is everything okay? Do you need anything? A good neighbor will know when another neighbor is in need. So, you really need to watch out for each other. Farook, you mentioned Come On Y'all. What is Come On Y'all?
Come On Y'all is a charity that's been running for over 12 years now.
Wow.
It engages with young people. So almost 80 young people will engage on a weekly basis. Obviously, those numbers have come down since the coronavirus. But even then, we have weekly virtual meetings. We plan projects and we deliver projects even though we can't meet. But on normal situations, we get the young people, talk about things, what are the problems in the community, and get them to find a solution to the problem rather than just talking about it. But they will plan the whole project, deliver, and evaluate at the end, and then do lots of projects.
Okay, Mowlana Farook, thank you very much for coming onto this episode.
No problem.
Is there anything else you'd like to say to
keep up
the
the
audience?
good work, guys. You're doing a fantastic work. You are part of Come On You All as well, and part of your Duke of Edinburgh Award. You're doing this. I'm really proud of you. Well done, guys.
Yeah, thank you.
Exactly.
So, inshallah, we'll see you all in the next episode. And until then, we'll see more of Farook later on, inshallah. And I've been Muhammad Hussein.
And I've been Ismail.
And we'll see you next time in the Dunya. Asalamualaikum.
Pretend my religion come first and comes making my ends. Islam is my deen and it's not what you see on TV. How we be following prophecies. Put on in this sunnah surely is a key. I pray I remain on the path mustaqim. So when I rise, Jannah I will see.